So all three processes are running at once. All right, so I got a million questions. So let's just start with one aspect of the machine at a time. How does this thing know if it's grabbed two cones or keep it from pulling two cones out of the sleeve at once?
That's something we just talked about. We haven't had too much of a problem with it, but I think we're going to have to add two sensors to determine that. Because if you pull two, it just makes a mess. So if we can pull...
Well, it will create a reject. It'll just get bumped out on the weight, or
Exactly.
underload the weed thinking that it's still a gram or
So
whatever.
we're weighing the actual product. So we're not weighing the cone. We weigh the product and dump that out into the cone.
Have you checked the weight consistency of the cones themselves? Are they consistent? Empty cones, I mean?
I have seen a small variation, but not too much.
Like within a real tight tolerance?
Yeah, within, I'd say, a couple thousand.
Because Grant will tell you, invariably you get some joints in a tin and one looks bigger and one looks smaller, and people send us pictures of the damn joints on a scale. And it's like, how do we know you didn't dump half of it out? Or
Yeah, we know that, so we're measuring the product before we put it in the cone, so we know exactly what the weight is, regardless of what the cone is.
so we have to put a little label on there like the cereal, sold by weight, not by volume.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's weight, yeah. So I mean, we definitely, the weight that we have is fine to show us the grade weight. We don't care what the cone is, we only care what we're putting in. So if somebody says they're getting a half a gram, they're getting a half a gram.
Does moisture, does humidity affect the speed or the consistency of these? Do you have to dehumidify this box? Yeah, the environment and how do you manage that? Or is it nothing that you need to worry about?
We work all summer in here, so we can make it in here, we can make it anywhere, just like.
But recommended prior to.
And also, we're gonna, so we have the glass on the sides, we're putting it on the top as well, because a little bit of air moving will
Yeah,
throw
we have a
scale
downdraft.
off.
Well, you want to keep the dust out too. We have all of the machines, the very expensive machines are all in these
Yeah,
cases.
so it'll be completely enclosed.
Yeah.
And if you needed to, I guess you could put a dehumidifier in the plenum space just to make the machine happier.
It's like making tablets in that regard. If you want
Right.
probably 40% RH, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit is probably your ideal.
I mean, in the climate control you're in now, I think you're gonna be fine, but.
Yeah, I mean, the humidity, you weren't kidding, it is
Yeah.
nasty out there.
Oh, this summer, and in Maryland, it's terrible. Do you have a consistency or a humidity of what this material is? Do you test this for moisture?
So, that's right out of the hemp field, and it is what it is. I'm guessing it's probably 15%, but it's probably picked up since it's been here with that backup. You know.
But have you let this thing run like all night for 10 hours and see
Well,
what
you
you
run it all
get?
day long, right? I mean,
And how does it clean? How does the cup, doesn't the cup need to self-clean or this cup here, the dumper
The
cup?
cup down there is fine. Where we see a little bit of buildup is actually on the stainless. But you just have to, do a quick wipe and it breaks the,
The little stickiness of it.
yeah.
Hey, I don't see any Chinese markings on all this. Didn't this all come from China?
No, it's mostly Japanese, which is
Oh, higher quality than the Chinese. Top quality.
right, so we're using Avalon in order to, we're going to give you something we want to last.
Cool. All right. So let's just run it one more time again, please, if you would. Oh, before we do that, let's see some of the ones that you took out that we just ran. So this whole idea is there'll be a,
We'll convey it now.
Yep, there's a new conveyor.
and that was the other question. How does it know how many twists to put on here to not twist it off the top or?
So it's all controlled by electronics. So we control the software of how tight we're twisting it, what the twist looks like.
So this one looks a little rough, but I think it has to do with the compaction in the fill. I don't know if
Exactly.
this is just a little too loose,
It's
but
a
you
little
have
too
to
loose.
play with this.
Right. Well, see, we didn't know what too loose was until Grant came today and said these are too loose. We
Come
didn't-
on, you guys have
we don't
smoked a
know
joint.
what-
One of you guys has smoked a joint in your life, please.
We're not making joints to know what a good joint looks like.
Oh my God.
So one of the things, Kerry, that we did do is that, that vibration, right? Because we could change the vibration and we could change the duration, depending on what material you have, we'll be able to adjust it.